Good morning, everyone. Futures Brizio here. Quarter to 12 on Thursday, July 25th. Hope everybody's doing well, having a great week. Just a little market update today and a little update, I guess, on my trading. First of all, as always, guys, make sure you smash the like button before we get going here. Really helps out. And then obviously, if you're just finding the channel, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell notification so when I post new content. And again, this is a futures trading channel using just technicals. On this channel, we don't talk about fundamentals. Fundamentals are very important, but that's not the scope of this video or this channel. And again, guys, what I use on the charts here are Heikin Ashi smooth candles to smooth out noise in the market. And again, I'll say it again, I do not ignore the candlesticks, which show a little bit more depth, but I don't, just for visualizing trend and potential areas of opportunity, I'm just using Heikin Ashi smooth. So one little update is I'm beginning to transition more over to longer time frames. As you guys know, I've been making a lot of videos on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 10-minute time frame, and that's perfectly fine. But just with my schedule and just things that other things I'm involved with right now, it's gotten a little bit too much for me to be glued to the computer for so long on the real short time frames. And I think also from just a standpoint of this channel and anybody that might be watching that perhaps just doesn't have the time to be sitting in front of the computer, day trading and scalping super short time frames, hopefully this will be helpful too. So I just wanted to make that point. It's a little bit of a mental adjustment for me I'm having to get used to because obviously there's a lot of temptation to jump to that short time frame. I've been resisting it pretty well. So we'll see how it goes. And so far, so good. So let's just jump into it. So we're going to look at the same four markets that I've been looking at here, or at least three. One of them is maybe new, but we'll see what we get here. So we'll start on gold. So if we go out to the 4-hour time frame on gold, you can see we're in this downtrend. We are, however, approaching a major support level down here, and this is where I tell you guys I don't ignore the candlesticks. Because you see this line here, it's below the Heikin Ashi smooth candles. That's because if I turn on the candlesticks, you can see we've touched this area. This is now the third time we've touched this area. Okay, and so the most recent touch is this current 4-hour candle. All right, and so because this is a major area that's been touched a few times, I'm obviously not selling into this area right now regardless. So what I'm basically doing is if price can definitively break through here with like a nice 1-hour candle close below this level, then I probably would consider more shorts at least down to here, and if not, down to these contract lows down here. But where it's sitting right now, I'm not interested bumping off here. If we go down to the 1-hour chart, this is kind of our swing level right here. If price rallies back, breaks through here, then there probably would be a long opportunity, at least back to this last major swing high, somewhere up here. This might be a more conservative waiting point for price to break here and then go higher. But, so as it stands right now, there's no trade either way. I'm not going to be trading the short unless we take this level out pretty definitively. But I'm certainly not going to fight this downtrend either unless we get some clear direction. So nothing to do on gold right now. If we go out to, this is the Russell 2000, which is just another stock index. I mean, you're probably familiar with the Dow and the S&P and NASDAQ. So this is just another one. And it's one of the lesser traded ones, but I do kind of like it. So it's something I'm looking at. So here on the 4-hour, we had this big uptrend here. Then we had this pullback right here. Price tried to go higher, failed, came down again, but failed to break lower. And so now we're just kind of inside this range. Again, this is the 4-hour chart. If we look at the candlesticks, you can see that, we did have, again, we had this low put in right here. on this pullback, and then which failed to make a new high when it rallied here. But you can see on the pullback we failed to even come down to this low. So, and you can see we have a very bullish 4-hour candlestick going right now. If we go to the 1-hour chart, obviously it's made up of a few different candles, but overall this is a pretty bullish candlestick. So again, I'm not really interested in trading this one. It's inside this range. And quite frankly, even if it breaks above here, I mean, I suppose I might consider some long positions if we get above here. But this line up here represents the contract high. If we go out to the daily chart, this is like an all-time high up here. So it's not really that far away. So even if price breaks higher here, we don't have a lot of headroom to go. So I suppose there could be some short-term buys back to this level. But you got to be very leery of this since it's a contract high. It doesn't mean it won't blast right through it and keep going higher, in which case, great. That's kind of what I'm looking at, that we don't have a lot of space here, but I'm not willing to go short unless we take out these lows down here. Now, if we take out these lows, I'd much rather take this market short than long, to be honest. And if we take out these lows, then we don't have much to stop it until it gets all the way back down into this previous zone, down in here. So, but right now it looks pretty bullish. So we'll see what happens. But again, for me, there's no trade in this market right now. So, okay, so going over to natural gas. So again, if we zoom out a little bit here, and let's turn off the candlesticks for a sec. We go out to the daily chart. We are at pretty much approaching back down to contract lows, which are down here. This line right here, this is the daily chart, represents a contract low. All right, and you can see we are running into that area right now. So I'm going to delete this little line, which is just a level on the shorter time frame, and you can see we're approaching this level. So again, this represents a contract low. So again, it doesn't mean it can't go lower, but this is going to be a very key area, and I do expect potentially a pretty significant reaction off of this level, at least temporarily. But if we get a nice definitive break below here, then certainly price can go lower. But I would have to see price, basically, take out this area to consider this market going higher. And so this is kind of the range we're looking at. So again, to me, there's no trade in this right now. Again, a definitive break on, say, a 1-hour or 4-hour chart below this level would make me more confident to continue the downtrend, which obviously we've been in since, really back in May. But if you want to consider it from this high, yeah, like late May. So we've been in this downtrend for a couple of months now, and so we'll see what happens here. But that's where I see this right now. But again, no trade here for me at the moment. And then lastly on copper. So copper has also had just a remarkable downtrend. So this is the daily chart. We are not at contract lows here, and here's the 4-hour chart again. So I do think there's more downside here in copper. The only kind of area to watch is you can see on the daily chart we had this pullback area right here, and prices come back just about into that level now. So I don't know whether that's just a reaction area and then eventually it'll break through there. If we turn on our candlesticks, you can see price came right to that level over here. Okay, so we can actually draw this level in right here. So we've got this area right here that prices come into. So again, it doesn't mean it's just going to bounce and go higher from here. But obviously, the traders see this area, so this probably was a profit-taking zone for a lot of people, and maybe an area for people to potentially grab a reversal to go higher. I don't know. But it's not a contract low. That's still pretty far away down here. So back to the 4-hour. We'll see. We can see we are having a pretty good bounce again off this area, which is to be expected off of a major higher time frame zone. And then down to the 1-hour chart. I have this level kind of marked off as a line in the sand. As long as this area holds, we can see price come up here, and potentially it could be another selling opportunity if this resistance area holds. This was the last swing before this low was put in. If we break higher from here, we could potentially be reversing. Although I always get concerned with these little these little pullback and down moves like this one. See how close together these are? These are all liquidity zones. So these all could be like inducement zones where you could get price up to there and then react and go down, or start to go down and then break through it. So these are all kind of potential trap zones for buyers and sellers. So, you know, I mean, ultimately I would love to see this just come up here, reject and start going lower. That would be my preference. And then, you know, again, if we take out this zone, this was that line on the longer time frame, then we have a pretty good run further down, but we'll see. But again, either way, there's no trade on this for me right now. On the hourly chart, if I turn on the candlesticks, you can see we're starting to push up and slowing down here, but doesn't mean we'll see a move back down lower. But you know, if I get a red candle here, quite frankly, on the Heikin Ashi Smooth here on the hourly chart, I probably would take a short straight away on that, just because the trend is down, and if this area holds, I think there is a nice opportunity to go lower. So, but this has been in a downtrend for a long time. No need to fight it, but you know, let's see how far it actually goes. All right, so that's my view on copper. There's no trade right now. Again, if a bearish candle here on the Heikin Ashi Smooth on this hourly chart, I probably would consider a short for myself on there. As far as long positions, I'd have to see a nice definitive strong break above this level to consider any type of up move, especially again in light of how strong this downtrend has been. There's no need to fight it until it really kind of voids itself. So that's the current status on those four. Again, to me, basically the way I'm looking now, there's no trade on any of these. But in terms of what could be soon, if it works out, would be copper, potentially a break on gold if we get below that zone. You know, same thing with natural gas if we break that zone to the downside. And the Russell is probably going to be, I'm probably not going to touch this one for a while. So just based on what it looks like right now. So, all right. So again, guys, make sure you smash that like button. Questions or comments, please leave them down below. I hope this was helpful. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. And again, any questions or comments, leave them down below and we'll talk to you soon. If anything changes and we get any entries here, I'll certainly jump in and let you know. All right, guys, take care. Have a good day.